might be wondering why on Mothering Sunday, the day when we acknowledge those who have and who do nurture us, are we hearing this story of the prodigal son? As I said at the beginning, it's the fourth Sunday of Lent as well as Mothering Sunday, and lots of different readings to choose from. But this one is in Luke chapter 15, where Jesus tells three lost and found stories. There's the lost sheep in the first 7 verses of the chapter, the lost coin in verses 8 to 10, and then this story of the lost son that we've just heard. And I know for most of you sitting here, it's a very familiar story that can be told from different angles, that of the father, that of the eldest son, and that of the younger son. And it has so much for us to hear and learn from, even though it's so familiar. So we know the younger son turns his back on his family and disappears to have fun until the cash runs out. I don't watch any of the soaps, used to lots of years ago, but don't now. But sometimes we know that there can be characters like that. And even within our own family history, there may be those who've been regarded as the black sheep. We look at the father, he gives the boy a lot of money. He lets him go and spend it. But we're told that he never stops looking out for him. And when he does see him, he forgets about all the dignity and quite probably all his anger as he runs out to meet him. He responds to his son's apology, not with a scolding that he might have expected, but by giving him new clothes and a huge barbecue. And I think many of us would understand the older brother's reaction when he's been slaving away in the fields, just as he did every day since his brother went away. And on this day, he comes home to find a huge party and his brother who disappeared being treated like royalty. To him, it would be so wrong. He would have felt that he was the good person, not the waste of space. Probably that's why he didn't want to join in the party. But it is that looking at what the father did, this generous father, who seems to let his sons be who they are and love them whatever they do. Yes, the younger son dishonored his father in wanting to go off, but he did return and faces up to the situation. In the culture of the time, there would have been a stress on family duty and honour. The idea that such a disgraced and disgraceful son would return to the family on any terms would have been anathema. And it would have been the duty of the father to send him off with a scolding. But this father, he watches, he waits for his son return. He runs to him. He doesn't want to hear the prepared speech that the son has, but actually celebrates him. The elder son can't stomach that generous forgiveness. We discover one thing here, that God forgives and is willing to wipe out any sins. For the father, there are 2 categories, dead or alive, lost or found. And for him, his concern is that both sons is to love them and to see them alive and found. And the part of the power of this story, it seems to me, is that we can relate to any of those main characters. At different times in our lives, we'll relate to them differently. We may be able to relate to the younger son who wandered away, even if it's spiritually speaking, was then ready to come home. At other times, we'll relate to the older son who's never left home, tried to do the right thing, and is frustrated that God loves the prodigals among us. And then there will be times when we relate to the Father, concerned about people in our life, praying for them and hoping for the day that they finally come home to the embrace of our loving God. God loves and waits. He never gives up hope. He runs and embraces. He remains true to everything and so experiences the great sadnesses and the great joys that each of us know in our lives. For some of us hearing this story, it may feel so remote from our experiences, or it may feel too close for comfort. Our experiences of Father vary hugely, as they do of Mother, and indeed for those who sadly lost children, who've never known parents, or maybe been unable to parent any for themselves. We acknowledge that today is a hard one, and I don't wish to diminish those feelings. However, I do offer the reminder that each one of us is loved and nurtured by God, who wants to bring us home and welcome us into his arms, whatever we may have done and however we may be. Father in this story can easily be replaced by Mother, or indeed by anyone who nurtured us. He lets his sons be who they are and love whatever they do. And that's true for us, if we can hear those words. I pray that you can hear those words for yourselves today and give thanks. Amen. Some notices, as always. Thank you to those who came and spring cleaned on Friday afternoon and yesterday. I hope you can see the difference, smell the difference. It's so good to have it all lovely clean again. On the 9th of April, so a week on Saturday, we're having a churchyard tidy up. You know that with the wind, lots of bits of tree debris all around, and lots of gardening stuff to be done. So that'll be on Saturday the 9th in the morning. We are approaching Easter, and in the past, a number of you have wanted to donate £5 towards an Easter lily, which is then used in the decorations. If you'd like to do that, please, if you can put a £5 in an envelope, just write Easter lily on it. If you can, take it to the office during the week. If it's easier to give it to one of us in church, then please do that. Quite a number have given food for the food bank donation collection that's already gone up to the youth centre. I think it's ending up that it'll go over a couple of weeks. So if you haven't given anything and would like to, there's 2 boxes at the back. Please just bring something into church when it's open, which is every day, and be helping those who are real in need. If you saw the update on Friday, you would have seen an ink picture that David Blackmore has done of the church. And David has some that are being printed on a really good quality paper that he's got at the back of church. They're £10, and all money raised will go to the DEC emergency appeal for Ukraine. So do have a look and talk to David afterwards and take one of those, and we can raise money. It's the time of year when we look at our electoral roll, that our sort of almost like membership list, as it were. It's not one of the years where everybody has to reapply, but if you feel that you belong to St Mary's Church, have been part of us for 6 months, and are not on the electoral roll, then there are some forms at the back there. Do please take one and fill it in, and then again give it to Jackie or myself, and we will be adding names. And then the final thing I want to highlight to you is you will have been given a leaflet like this with your order of service and hymn book. It's a brand new pamphlet advertising the Friends of St Mary's. Again, I'm aware that some of you will already be a member of that, but it's not just for people in church, it's for anybody in the community that wants to support this building, which we know takes quite a lot of money to keep as beautiful as it is. So do take this leaflet, have a read of it, and if you aren't a member and feel that you could become one, then there's an application form there that can be returned to Chris Pallett, who is the secretary, and look to continue to help to support the building, which so many people in the village value, even if they don't come on a regular basis. We know that so many people value that this church is here. So if you are a member, take the leaflet and give it to somebody else and encourage them. But I think, that's the way to do it, to actually encourage other people to be part of the Friends. Thank you.